Zwom. Doot, 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 doot. BMO.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another BMO Creative Fact About Fiction video. So this one is about one of my favorite characters of all time, and that is Abraham Sapien, otherwise known as Abe Sapien. So Abe is a humanoid amphibious man created by this guy, Mike Mignola, a comic book artist and writer, and the story is that Abe was discovered in a Washington, D.C. basement in November of 1978 and became an agent of the Bureau, endeavoring to discover his own past because he has amnesia. So in the movies, he doesn't even seem to care about his past at all. It never really even comes up. But in the comics, we find out he was once human, actually. And this is his human counterpart, Doug Jones, in real life. This is the guy that played the character Abe Sapien in the movies. So his name was Langdon Everett Call in the comics, and he was a scientist and a cultist, and he was a member of the Oannes Society, who basically worship like a Cthulhu-like creature and believe they need to save the essence of humanity by utilizing ancient secrets from the ocean, of all places. So Call and his cultists find this strange creature that they believe to be a kind of ancient jellyfish species, but the thing has some sort of sentient intelligence, and it also lays an egg, which is really strange. So of course, knowing this isn't normal, they did some occult rituals with it, and the creature and the egg both end up being absorbed into Call's hands, causing him to convulse and pass out. So the other members of the society that he was part of, they end up putting him in one of their experimental incubation chambers, and over 15 days he ends up turning into like a fish creature, which they all celebrate because they realize, oh wow, this is how we save the essence of humanity in their minds. I don't know how that works, but anyways, because of the war going on at the time, he was forgotten for around 113 years in that incubation chamber. He was found in the tank, completely transformed into a fish man by some startled plumbers, and the Bureau was notified and took him in. Thanks to Hellboy, he wasn't experimented on or dissected, but instead made part of the team. So that's awesome. Abe is an extremely talented swimmer, with a natural affinity to water. He can breathe both air and water, actually, but can only stay out of the water for around 5 days at a time before it starts to affect his health. When traveling, he sleeps in hotel bathtubs just to keep his skin from drying out, he says. He is sensitive to the condition of the water he swims in, however, so soaps and pollutants and things affect him. So when he was swimming in Venice, for example, the water was polluted where he was, and so he had to stay in his own tank for a while after that to recover and get all the pollutants out of his system. He is a talented marksman, as well as one of the most skilled agents in the BPRD, which stands for Bureau of Paranormal Research and Defense. In case you didn't know, that's where Hellboy works. And that's where Abe works. And for decades. He has decades of experience. And this is a drawing I did of Abe from memory. He also appears to have greatly enhanced strength and healing abilities compared to a normal human. I mean, by far. Some, but not all, of the wounds that he has survived include things like being speared with a harpoon in the chest, which initially he was declared dead, and then he ends up coughing and getting up, and he's okay. And then being tortured to death, which is crazy, but he survived that too. Being thrown onto large spikes in a pit, and that actually he recovered from that as well, even though they thought he was dead. And he was shot in the face and the chest several times, and again, he was declared dead each time. And then Abe sputters and coughs, and he gets up. I mean, he just whether or not he's immortal because of the Cthulhu creature he bonded with as a human is up to debate. But all the times that he's been declared dead and everybody's crying and like, oh, poor Abe, he ends up getting up and slowly recovering in his tank. It's also possible that he doesn't age, or that he ages at a much slower rate than normal humans, given that he was in the tank for around 113 years while he made his transformation. Now, this may be a trait inherited from his previous life. If you read the comics, Langdon Everett Call was around 75 years old at the time that he became Abe Sapien, and he only looked around in his 20s. So that alone shows he had some sort of longevity or like extremely good genes. I think he was a human mutant. It's this human mutant gene that may have allowed him also to genetically merge with the Cthulhu creature in the first place, and also gives him his regenerative abilities. He has some limited psychometry and telepathy, although the instances of psychometry may actually be properties of the objects he's interacting with physically, so he's just super sensitive and not an ability he possesses mentally. It's more of a physical thing. So, there you go. What do you guys think of Abe Sapien? I think he's pretty cool. Leave a comment below. What do you think? And that's going to do it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Go ahead and subscribe. Give a thumbs up for more BMO Creative Fact About Fiction videos. Thanks. Bye.